All right, today we're embarking on a journey that might literally flip how you see your everyday life upside down. We're going to explore the mysterious architecture of your mind, the true nature of your waking reality, and how tapping into the world of lucid dreams can actually unlock your deepest subconscious. It's a profound, deeply philosophical topic, but don't worry, we're going to break it all down together step by step.
Take a look at the question right here. Where are you in the world right now? I know, it sounds kind of ridiculous, right? You're probably thinking, I'm sitting at my desk or I'm staring at a screen. But are you simply inside your physical body? Or are you somewhere deep inside your consciousness? The sheer fact that you are present, aware, and observing this very moment is actually one of the strangest, most inexplicable phenomena in our human experience. And as we're going to see, what you consider to be here and now might not be as rock solid as you think.
Let's jump into Section 1, the illusion of reality. We need to redefine exactly what it is we see.
To wrap our heads around this, we've got to totally dismantle that boundary we usually put between waking life and the dream world. See, most of us just assume our brain works like a camera, right? Passively recording the outside world exactly as it is. But neurologically speaking, that is completely backwards. Your brain is actually a generator. It's actively building the world you're experiencing right this very second, even before your senses finish sending the signals. In fact, a lot of neuroscientists call our everyday waking reality a controlled hallucination. Yeah, you heard that right. You are hallucinating right now. But your brain keeps it super tightly regulated so you can survive and, not get completely overwhelmed.
Moving on to Section 2, why do dreams fade? Let's talk about the mechanics of memory.
So you might be wondering, okay, if my waking life is generated, just like a dream, then why is my waking life so sharp, while my dreams are this chaotic mess that I forget the second I wake up? Well, to answer that, we have to look at the biological timeline of sleep. You fall asleep, your brain relaxes, and then boom, you hit REM sleep, rapid eye movement. This is where the really vivid dreams kick in. But here's the catch. While you're wandering around this incredibly immersive dream world, a specific part of your brain called the hippocampus, which is basically your memory center, is busy doing something else entirely. It is laser-focused on consolidating your daily memories. It's literally organizing what happened to you while you were awake so you don't forget your actual life. And because the hippocampus is so preoccupied, recording your dream, yeah, that's a super low priority for your brain.
But wait, there's another absolutely crucial piece of biology here, norepinephrine. Think of this chemical as the brain's superglue for memory. While you're awake, it helps experiences stick in your mind. But the second you go to sleep, your brain practically shuts down production. So you can live through this incredibly vivid, utterly real-feeling experience in the dream world. But without that chemical superglue, the memory of it just totally dissolves the moment you open your eyes. So it's not that the dream wasn't intensely real while you were in it. It's just that your biological recording equipment was switched off.
All right, Section 3, glitches in the mind. What happens when the generator misfires?
If reality and dreams are being pumped out by the exact same internal machinery, what happens when the boundary between them completely breaks down? Well, let's look at some fascinating medical anomalies that act kind of like glitches in the matrix. First up is narcolepsy. Normally, we transition nice and smooth from being awake to light sleep to REM. But for someone with narcolepsy, the brain fails to regulate that boundary. They can be wide awake and then, in literally a fraction of a millisecond, plunge straight into REM sleep. Their physical body might still be somewhat active, but their mind? It's dreaming. The boundary between waking reality and dream reality is just entirely erased. For these folks, it can become terrifyingly difficult to figure out if an event actually happened in real life or if it was just a dream, which really proves that the brain's rendering engine for dreams is just as powerful as the one for waking life.
Now consider this deeply fascinating glitch known as Anton syndrome. This is a condition where a patient is completely physically blind, like the connection between their eyes and the visual cortex is completely severed. Yet these patients will adamantly deny that they're blind. Why? Because their brain's generator hasn't stopped working. It just keeps right on constructing a vivid, full-color visual reality. In documented hospital cases, a doctor might hold up 0 fingers and ask, "How many fingers am I holding up?" And the patient will confidently say 3, and then go on to describe a room full of people who aren't even there. Their brain is perfectly generating a visual reality without a single drop of external sensory input, exactly like it does when you're dreaming.
And hey, you've probably experienced this next glitch yourself. False awakenings. You know the feeling? You wake up, you get out of bed, you look around your totally familiar room, you might even start making coffee, only to notice some tiny, impossible detail. And suddenly it hits you. You're still asleep. You only dreamed that you woke up.
This phenomenon is wild because it totally shatters our basic trust in the feeling of reality. It proves that just because something feels completely, 100% real to you in the moment, that feeling is absolutely no proof that it's actually happening.
Which brings us to Section 4, Facing Nightmares, Unlocking the Subconscious.
So, if our waking reality is generated exactly like a dream, and our feeling of reality can't really be trusted, does this mean we're just trapped in this dark mental cage, totally isolated from the true universe? Like, how do we escape the prison of our minds? Well, the beautiful truth is that understanding this doesn't mean you're in a prison at all. Actually, it means you have ultimate freedom. Realizing that your brain generates reality is the key to mastering your internal world. And the most direct, practical way to use this freedom is through lucid dreaming, becoming completely conscious and aware while you're still inside a dream. It's not about escaping reality. It's an incredibly powerful therapeutic tool for psychological freedom, especially when we're dealing with our darkest fears and personal psychological nightmares.
Let's actually break down how this is used actively in therapy to conquer those personal psychological nightmares. Here are the steps. Step 1, you become aware that you're inside the nightmare. You realize, hey, this whole environment is being generated by me. Step 2, you stop that deep biological urge to just run away. And step 3, you turn around and consciously confront whatever monster or terror is chasing you. See, in a normal dream, we run because we genuinely think the danger is an external physical threat. But in a lucid dream, you know for a fact that you're perfectly safe, fast asleep in your bed.
And the absolutely crucial thing to remember here is this. The monster is not an external threat, but a deep psychological expression from within. When you use lucid dreaming to turn and face that terror, you aren't really fighting a monster at all. You are sitting down with a profound, urgent message from your very own subconscious. That nightmare isn't trying to hurt you. It's a deeply repressed fear, anxiety, or past trauma desperately trying to communicate with you by taking on a physical form. By confronting it directly, you decode its message, and you totally strip the nightmare of its power. You literally turn sheer terror into a massive tool for self-discovery and healing. It's a total game changer.
Finally, let's dive into Section 5, the Ocean of Consciousness, Expanding the Mind. Once you start to master this internal world of dreams and nightmares, the implications begin to echo outward into the waking universe. We so often feel like we're these tiny, isolated little entities, right? Just a little spark of awareness trapped inside a physical body, looking out at this massive, alien universe. The painter Van Gogh actually wrote about this agonizing feeling of isolation. But if our brain generates the reality we perceive, we have to completely flip our perspective. Consciousness is not a tiny point trapped in space. Actually, your consciousness is the giant screen upon which all of space, every star, every tree, every single person you meet is rendered and appears. The universe isn't outside of you. The experience of the universe is happening entirely inside of you. There is this incredible metaphor to help us visualize this, the ocean metaphor. Imagine the ocean represents a massive universal consciousness. The waves rising on the surface, those are our individual experiences, our distinct lives and personalities. And the wind is the catalyst, the physical world that allows this reality to take shape and manifest. Now, a wave is not the entire ocean, right? But the ocean is present in every single wave. You simply cannot have the wave without the ocean. What this means is we aren't just isolated illusions. We are expressions of a much deeper shared source, constantly dancing between our individual selves and the greater whole.
And that leaves us with one final, deeply profound question to ponder today. If your reality is generated entirely within your own mind, and my reality is generated entirely within mine, how are we sharing this exact reality, this exact moment right now? Are we just two isolated screens playing the same movie, or are our distinct realities somehow overlapping in that vast ocean of consciousness? Something to chew on. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember, keep questioning the reality around you.